Hello guys, this is What About Nintendo, and today I'm here to talk about my predictions for the upcoming Pokemon Direct on June 5th, 2019. Let's get right on into it. So a few days ago guys, Pokemon Company announced that not only was yesterday going to be a Pokemon 2019 press conference, which they announced all kinds of funny things, you can see my reactions to that up in the eye, but in June, on June 5th, there will be a 15-minute big hefty Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct, and that's what I'm here to predict. But first off, I'd like to say I pretty much called this. If you go and look at my Pokemon predictions videos, I said back in my Pokemon, will there be a Pokemon Direct in May? I said there will probably be some information in May, in either a Direct in late May or early June. And then in my previous Pokemon E3 predictions, I predicted that there will be a Direct right before E3, probably a week before E3, and that's where we're going to get the bulk of our information, and it seems that I was correct. But what information will that be? Well, that's what I'm here to talk about today. First off, as I said, it is a 15-minute Pokemon Direct, which is the largest we've seen since, I believe, 2013, back when X and Y had its Pokemon Direct. So it's a hefty boy, it's a big one. So there's going to be a lot of really awesome stuff shown here, and I think it's going to be a major Direct for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I think there's just going to be a ton of really big announcements where they go into detail on what sets this apart from the other Pokemon games. One thing that I think we will see throughout this entire Direct, in my opinion, hopefully, we will see a more hardcore theme throughout. I think throughout the entirety of this Direct, we're going to see that the theme for this game is going to be that it is a much more hardcore Pokemon fan game than ever before. I think after how easy and casual Let's Go was, I think that they can easily get away with a much more hardcore and difficult Pokemon game than ever before. Now, I'm not saying that this game will be like the Dark Souls of Pokemon, but I think they'll really make you learn and use every mechanic in the game to your advantage in order to actually win fights. I think it'll be a lot more like Xenoblade Chronicles 2, where the game's not brutally hard, but it does require you to actually learn and use the mechanics wisely in order to win battles and get through the game. But as far as actual announcements go, I think that they will show off Armored Evolutions. Yes, I do believe the rumors and leaks that we've been getting that Armored Evolutions are definitely a thing. I don't believe it's just that Armored Mewtwo in the upcoming Pokemon movie. I think that is kind of a hint at what we're going to see in Sword and Shield, and I think there will be armored Pokemon that you'll be able to get through some kind of upgrade or some kind of place where you go to actually evolve them. I don't think it will be a natural evolution. I think it will be something that you go and you actually get your Pokemon evolved in, like, at a certain place. Obviously, a lot of people think that that drawing that was seen in the back of that one building that I'll show here, that shows Charizard getting measured up for what we think is armor for his armor evolution. I think he will go there. I think he will probably pay money or do some kind of quest maybe for it, and then you'll be able to unlock armored evolutions for certain Pokemon. So I think that that's going to be a really cool mechanic in the game. I think they'll show that off. To what extent they'll show it off, maybe they'll just hint at it more. Maybe they won't go into full detail because I'm not sure if they want to spoil everything about it. But I think they'll confirm that as actually a thing. Maybe show off the design of one or two armored Pokemon that are going to be in the game. Probably Armored Charizard will be shown because that's the one that was hinted at in the trailer. Next up, I think gyms will definitely be gone over. The gyms are very different this time around, looking more like stadiums than the classic, more puzzle dungeony kind of gyms that we're used to in Pokemon. I like Andre's Restart's idea that they could be more like the battles in Pokemon Stadium 1 and 2 on the N64 and have a cool announcer and things like that. I definitely think they'll be fully battle focused rather than having any puzzles like previous Pokemon games, as you really don't see any place for puzzles to go. It's just a big wide open stadium, and I think they'll be more challenging than any gyms we've seen before, going with that hardcore theme I mentioned before. But yes, I think they'll go over the locations of all the gyms, as there's a couple that we're kind of spotty on, and I think they'll go over what, how gyms work, and I think they'll probably show off a gym leader or two as well to really give you an idea of how gyms are working in this game, because I think it's one of the things that is going to be very different from previous games. Next up, I think they will showcase that this is a much more open world than we've been expecting. I think one of the things that will separate this game from the rest of the Pokemon series is how open and explorable the world is. Now, I'm not saying this will be a fully open world game or a Breath of the Wild for Pokemon, but I am saying that there will be a lot more optional places to go and explore where you'll find unique items and maybe even unique Pokemon that you wouldn't find on the main paths. I'm saying that every point of interest on the map will be explorable. I'm saying this forest at the bottom of the map will be explorable. I'm saying this whole lake area that people are like, oh, would this be explorable? I don't know. Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be explorable. And I'm saying that this path that runs through the middle of the map will be fully explorable with unique things to find along the way. I'm also saying that there'll be far less loading screens between areas. I think large areas will be fully explorable with no loading screens at all, and that there won't be loading screens going into buildings either. Sure, maybe if you take a train or exit a very large area, there might be a bit of loading, but going from one path to the next, you're just not going to see one in my opinion. I also think that they're going to really show off the game in a way we haven't seen it up to this point. I think there's a lot of secrets and things that they were completely hiding from us. I made a whole video on it if you want to check that out in the eye, but essentially I think that the world was way too empty for it to be how it's actually going to be presented in the final game. There were like no NPCs, there was nothing happening, there was like some birds in the sky, and it was like all life you could see. There was that 1 or 2 trainers that they showed in the entire trailer and nobody else. I think they're definitely going to show the world in a different light. I think we're going to see a lot more NPCs walking around and maybe even some Pokemon just kind of lying around and chilling and things like that. I'm not saying it's going to be Pokemon Let's Go where the Pokemon are just roaming around the wild, but I think there will be a lot more just life in the game than we saw in their first trailer, where it was pretty much dead and nothing was happening and there was nobody anywhere. I think that they're going to show off the game and we're going to see it in a completely different way where there's a lot more life to the game. And finally, I think they'll go over the story of the game. I don't think this story in this game is going to be anything super crazy and super in-depth or mind-blowing compared to what we've seen before, but I do think it'll be on par with the best we've seen of any story in a Pokemon game. As a part of this, I definitely think that they'll show off the legendaries for the game, which will probably have a wolf theme to them, and I suspect will be armored Pokemon as well, with the Shield legendary being defense-based with big, heavy, bulky armor, and the Sword one being attack-based with lighter, more offense-based armor. I also think that they'll show off the Professor, your mom, your rival, and probably the first gym leader, as well as I said before, when they show off, how the gyms work and everything like that. But yeah, guys, that's all for this video, though. Those are my predictions, but they're just, as I said, my predictions. I want to know what all your guys' predictions are down in the comments below. What do you think is going to be shown in this 15-minute Pokemon Direct, and how hyped are you for it? Also, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring that bell icon for notifications of all my videos, because there's going to be a lot more E3 content coming this way. Also, make sure to share this video with everyone you know who's hyped for this Pokemon Direct. Thank you guys all for watching. I'll see all you awesome people later on What About Nintendo. Bye.